Hi YouTube, I'm Taylor. Welcome to Ginger Next Door. Today's video is going to be a super quick, easy makeup tutorial using only using only 7 items and 3 tools, 2 brushes and a sponge. So the reason that I wanted to do this makeup tutorial is because I have had quite a few friends recently just be like, can you just do a video talking about the basics? I think that YouTube can get really overwhelming when you look at someone's video and they're like level 10 glam and they have like 45 items and you're like, what do I even do with all of that? And then you just get discouraged and then you don't even want to bother. I totally get it because that's how I started off. I give us something that is super fun and really great, but it can be a little hard to know where to begin. So that's why I wanted to do this video today. So this is great for someone who is just barely starting out wearing makeup, or if you're someone who knows what you're doing with makeup, but you just like to have an easy, lazy day. So like I said, this makeup tutorial only uses 7 products, and you can mix and match them however you want. You don't have to do all 7 if you don't want to, or you can do more. Whatever you want to do, it's your face. Minimum effort with maximum results is what we're all about here, people. Let's get into it. Okay, first things first. Okay, very first step in our super quick and easy makeup routine, I always start with a face primer. No matter what foundation I'm going to use, using a primer always helps. Starting with a primer is going to ensure that your face is prepped and ready to go. This will also help your makeup to stay on better throughout the day. This one happens to be a Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. This is just their original one. I've used this one for a long time and I really like it. So I just used the size of like a pea on the back of my hand. I'm just going to take this and press it into my skin. So you just want to press this into your skin. You don't want to try to rub it in as if you're putting on a moisturizer. If you rub it in too much, it can kind of start to roll off of your skin, and then it's like you didn't even put one on. So you just want to press it in and rub it in enough that it's blended out and you don't have any like weird thick spots of it. But you don't want to do too much. It's just basically creating a barrier between your skin and your foundation. So if you're just starting out wearing makeup, or if you just want something that's like really quick and light to wear and not having a full face of foundation, I really like to use tinted moisturizers or BB creams. 2 of them that I really like are the Bare Minerals. This is just a little travel size. Usually it comes bigger than this. So this is the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue. This one has an SPF 30 in it, which is really good. And then my favorite one from the drugstore is the Maybelline BB Cream. This one is the BB Pure. This one actually is an acne treater. It has 2% salicylic acid in it, which helps with any little breakouts, skincare and makeup in one, which I really like. So this BB cream is just super lightweight coverage. You can still see my freckles through it, which I like. And again, I'm just going to take this in a little dot on my hand. And then I'm just going to take this with my finger and dot it all over my face. I focus mainly on the center of my face because that's where I feel like I need the most coverage. That's where I tend to have like little breakouts or things like that. And then it will just kind of blend the rest of the way out onto your cheeks. I'm going to use a damp Real Techniques sponge to blend this out. And just taking this and bouncing it on your skin. I prefer to use a sponge most of the time. I feel like it gives a really even coverage. It makes it so that you don't have any brush strokes that can sometimes show through when you use a brush. I'm using the little pointed end to get right in my under eye, which is why I love the shape of this sponge. I'm also going to take that up on my eyelid to even out any little like veins that want to show through there. I'm thinking about doing kind of like a series where I basically build on top of this. So today we're starting with 6 products, and then I would do another video where we kind of add a few more things in. Normally I like to use a color corrector, and then we can also talk about concealers. But for today, we're just going to keep it basic. I do always have little dark circles that want to shine through. So if I don't use a color corrector or a concealer that day, I just take a little bit of extra foundation right under there to help hide those a little bit more. Okay, product number 3. I really considered leaving this out simply because a lot of people feel like you don't need a primer and a setting powder. No matter what foundation I use, I always use a primer, and I generally use a setting powder unless I'm using something that is a little bit more of a dewy finish. Then I'll use a setting spray. So I always recommend kind of creating that sandwich of a primer, a foundation, and then either a setting powder or a setting spray. That just creates this like perfect locked in makeup look. It helps with any transferring, and it helps so that you don't have any like breakup on your makeup. Sometimes I get a little bit oily in my T-zone, so this just kind of helps to prevent that. Not necessary to do both, but I recommend it. It really is like, it's a game changer to do the sandwich. So there are 2 different kinds of setting powders I'm going to talk about. There's a loose powder or a pressed powder. A pressed powder comes in a compact. This is the Catrice Prime and Fine. This is just a translucent powder. It comes in a compact, so it's a pressed powder. This one I'll generally use with like a brush to set my makeup. And then the other one that I'm going to actually use today is from Makeup Revolution. This one's a loose powder. It's the same thing as a pressed powder, but it's just crushed up and you can use more of it. I like this one a lot because it really helps to set my makeup. It helps so that I don't get any like little fine lines or creases in there. And then it also makes my skin look really poreless, which is very nice. The way that I like to use this one is with my damp Real Technique sponge. So I'll usually just take the lid off and then put a little bit in the cap. And then again, just pressing this right into your skin. This really helps, especially for my under eyes. I always get weird little creases under there, and that's where it always wants to break up. And on my eyelids, for some reason I have like weirdly oily eyelids. Is that a normal thing? Do other people have that? And this is definitely something that you can do on just places where you feel like you get a little bit more oily and your foundation doesn't necessarily want to stay that well there, or you can just set your whole face. Generally, I'll just set everything and just focus a little bit more powder in the areas where I know that I have issues, which is my under eyes and then my T-zone. Okay, next thing in this quick little makeup tutorial is bronzer. This one happens to be the Chocolate Soleil bronzer from Too Faced, if I can get it open. This one, clearly I need a new one because I've used all of it. And then I'm also going to just take a big fluffy brush. When you use a fluffier brush to do your bronzing, this helps so that you don't create that really harsh contour line, because there is a difference between contouring and bronzing, if I can remember either of those words. I like to use a fluffier brush like this because it helps to diffuse that area, and then you don't have a super harsh line. It just gives you like a little bit of warmth to your face, so you don't just have a flat, pale face like I do. This one happens to be an e.l.f. complexion brush. These ones are really inexpensive. You can get them at Target or Ulta now, which is fabulous. So I'm just going to take this, swirl it in there, and then I'm going to go right into where my cheekbone is first, and then work in circular blending motions to diffuse that and create the illusion that I go outside and get sun, which is a lie. So I mainly focus that on my cheeks. I'm just following the line of my cheekbone, basically where that hollow is. This helps to just give a little bit more shape to your face and bring out your cheekbones, which is something I really like to do. And just blending this so that I can make sure that there's not any like harsh lines there. And then I'll also take this around the perimeter of my forehead. This is something that's really simple, and you don't have to go full on like Kardashian contouring to shape your face a little bit more, or don't do it. You don't have to. There are no rules. Okay, next thing, let's talk about eyebrows. I feel like I could do an entire 20-minute video explaining all the different ways that you could do your eyebrows. Maybe I will do that. Maybe I should make a whole video just about eyebrows. If you like that idea, leave me a comment. The two things I really like to recommend for beginners are either a brow mascara or a brow pencil. I feel like these are a lot easier to work with rather than a brow pomade that you have to use a brush with. That gives you a lot more of a defined brow, where these two things are something that can just be quick and simple. So this brow mascara is the Ulta brand one. It basically just is, I mean, exactly what I just said. It's a brow mascara. So it has this little tiny mascara looking wand. You just run this through your brows. Super easy. It coats them. This is something that I like to use because I have extremely light eyebrows, and so they don't really show up that much. So if your eyebrows are already shaped the way that you like them to, you can definitely just run through them with a brow mascara. Even just doing that makes such a difference. The other thing that I like to do if you want your brows to be a little bit more defined, or where on mine I have like a little spot that doesn't really grow hairs. I have like 3 eyebrow hairs. They're a little bit dark because I get them tinted when I get them waxed, which is fabulous. But for the most part, they're sparse, and that's okay because if you don't like your eyebrows, you just build them. So this is the L'Oreal Brow Definer. I have the shade Brunette. I like this one because it has your little spoolie on one end, and then you have your pencil on the other end. This one has a really, really fine tip, so you can get in there nice and precise. You're not going to do too much, which is great. So I start by brushing out, and then like I said, I probably will make a more in-depth video about how I shape my eyebrows, but for today, we'll just go with if I was trying to do this quick, and we're trying to make it simple and easy. So I'm just going to follow exactly where my natural brows are, and just working in short strokes. You don't have to get your whole eyebrow done in one swipe of your pencil. So for now, I'm just going to follow exactly where my natural eyebrow hairs grow. And then from there, so you can see the difference, even just filling them in the tiniest little bit really does make a difference. And then from there, I also like to add to my arch just a tiny bit because I do have that little bald spot right there. So I just kind of create an arch. And then I also like to extend the tail of my brow a little bit more. But since this is just for the purpose of showing a really quick and simple way to do your brows, I'm just going to leave it at that. So you can even see just the difference that it makes to do just the slightest little thing. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other side. This one doesn't struggle as much. I wish that both my eyebrows looked like this eyebrow because this one just does better, okay? You can draw your brows if they won't grow. I also like to just take my spoolie and run through them one more time once I put the product in them, just so that I can make sure that there's not any weird harsh patches. I did my nails earlier and I got nail polish all over my hand. It's fine. Okay, so one other thing that I really like to do with using one of our same products is using the bronzer again, just to put a little bit into my crease, just to deepen that area up. It just kind of accentuates your eyes a little bit more, so I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush. This one is a Morphe 504. Using a big fluffy brush just makes it really easy to blend out. I'm just going to take this and just really messily put that into my crease. This is something that I've done for a long time with my bronzer, and the other day Jaclyn Hill posted a video where she did this with like her quick glam, and I was like, oh, I do the same thing as you, and I got really jazzed about it. So with that crease color, I'm just working back and forth like a little windshield wiper, and then working in small circular motions. That's something that helps to blend out that color so that it doesn't have a harsh line in it. This is something that I do with literally every makeup look, and it doesn't need to be super precise. This is just a little extra something to do. So you can see that just accentuates your eyes a little bit more. Super quick, super easy. And then the very last step is mascara. I'm going to curl my lashes a little bit because they do grow straight forward. So I just like to use a lash curler. It looks like a tiny torture device and it's really terrifying. Have you ever pinched your eyelid in this, like when you get it too close down there? And you are positive that that's the last thing you're ever going to do because it hurts so bad? So the mascara that I absolutely love, this is my tried and true favorite mascara. No matter what ones I use, I always go back to this one. Even when I try high-end brand mascaras. This is the Maybelline Lash Sensational. I just have the color black. So this one has a curved brush, and this side has little tiny little spikies. I wish I had a better word than little plastic spikies, but that's what they are. So it has little tiny spikes on this side that really help to get between your lashes and separate them so they look really full, and then you flip it over and use this side, and that helps to lengthen and keep it curled, which I really appreciate because, like I mentioned, my lashes grow like Snuffleupagus. So I'll start with the curved side first and put that right against the base of my lashes. Mascara is not a one-swipe wonder, okay? You have to be patient and be willing to work your lashes a little bit. Plus, my eyelashes are so blonde. Look at the difference. It's just ridiculous. I also really like using the curved side for my bottom lashes because bottom lashes can be a little bit tricky, and this really helps to get in there and separate them and coat them without it getting all over your under eye. That was the first coat. Second coat, I'm just going to take the other side and run it through again. Donezo. Ooh. Okay. There's another bonus item, just like you don't have to use the setting powder. I am going to add a little bit of lip gloss. Even just adding like a super light tinted lip balm or even just a shiny lip balm. That's just something that I like to do on days when I don't wear very much makeup. Just to kind of bring it all together. So this is a Bare Minerals Gen Nude Gloss. These ones are their newer ones. This one's in the color Darling. It's spelled like that. D-A-H-L-I-N-G. I love that. Just going to throw some of that on there really quick. Alrighty, and there you have it. Like the quickest, easiest makeup tutorial ever. So the thing that I love about this is that it's a super easy and very natural looking makeup, but you still feel like you got a little bit ready. I like to do this on days if I'm just like running little errands, or if I just, sometimes you just need a little pick me up and you want to get a little bit ready, but not like level 10 glam, and that's why I love doing this kind of makeup. I hope that you liked this video and found it somewhat informative. If you did like it, I hope that you will subscribe, and then we can just keep hanging out and becoming besties. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.